And we're up to Siv Daud, Gama Noshim. See it over there?
Ja. Jeden Tag anderes Wort.
Nimm.
Ja, Besuch ein.
Ein Wurf Dauer. Du hast dich gleich, da, ja, schon gerne. Wie ist ein Wurf, ist nicht schon, aber wie ein Sein, ein Sein.
Was soll ich mal sagen? Die Numbers klappen nicht zusammen.
Wir gaben das schon.
Okay. Gama Noshim Chayavas B'Kiddush.
No.
Women are also mechuyev b'kiddush. They're also mechuyev b'kiddush, and they're mechuyev b'kiddush midraisa just as the men. Alkein therefore, Yishmu Heitev as a kiddush. They should hear when the man makes kiddush. They should listen carefully. V'yanu amen. Avo baruch hu baruch shemai v'yamru. Because being that they have to be yaitza with the kiddush, the baruch hu baruch shemai is what it is a hefsek, so that they shouldn't. The cotton afilu hu ben yudgim b'shana im ein yadua shehevi shtei saras eini moitzi esa isha. Because he's not a gadol, he has a din of a cotton, and the kiddush is a chiyah deraisa. So the rabbanan can't be moitzi a deraisa. Lochen therefore, to kaddish a isha ba'atzma, the woman should make kiddush herself. V'im eina yadas, if she doesn't know how to make kiddush. Today, that the girls learn and everything, that's a new thing. Right. But the time when the Quitzur Shulchan Aruch wrote, or when the Alter Rebbe wrote, that time women didn't learn. They just stood in the house and they learned from their mother how a Jewish woman has to conduct herself. So, v'im eina yadas, she doesn't know how to do it. Time me'im hakot, mila b'mila, she should say, together with the cotton. Now she shouldn't be yaitza with the cotton's kiddush, but she should say together with the cotton. V'gam im shemeis as a kiddush min abal, oy me'ish acha, yaitza nochan hu shetayma im hamekadesh mila b'mila. The same thing. Why? This is only if she doesn't know what it means. You can't, there's a day you should know that you can't be yaitza for someone saying it if you don't know what he's saying.
Mm-hmm. But if you're saying it, you don't know what it is, that's okay?
Yeah. Im yesh kama barabatim v'bayis echad, eich yisnagu b'kiddush. They say, what's a shayla? This shayla talks also by sukkah. By sukkah, there's a few people eating together in the same sukkah. So b'mela, each one will make. He says each one should make kiddush separately, not make all together. So you can answer amen. Or it shouldn't be a hefsek if you answer in the middle. But there's an interesting shayla over here. He talks over here about a cotton cannot make kiddush, right? So there's a shayla that they discuss. What's the din? A woman is mechuyev b'kiddush midraisa. Not unless the way I once explained already that in Lubavitch, when we say the Hadagnesh or Shabbos Kodesh, so with that word Kodesh, they're already Mekabel Shabbos. So it becomes a drabonan. So what happens to Mashal if a woman didn't say Hadik Neshel Shabbos Kaidish, or let's say she said Hadik Neshel Shabbos Kaidish, so she's only Drabonim. So then she could be Yotze Kiddush from a cotton, because a cotton could be Moitze a cotton. Comes along the Shaiva. The Shaiva goes like this: what happens if a cotton davened Kabbalah Shabbos? Could he be Moitzi a Isha who davened, who said Hav Shabbos Kodesh, or who davened Ma'ariv? What's the Shaiva? The Shaiva is that we have a call that a Drabonin can be Moitzi a Drabonin, but a Trei Drabonin can't be Moitzi a Drabonin. So a cotton who davened is a chayr is a trade rabbanon.
Because he said because
he's a cotton. He's a cotton mitzvah cotton, and he's also a cotton mitzvah baldadi davened b'mela. So the kiddush that ice doesn't apply to him.
Because he said mizmasher.
He said.
Oh, he said we got the Shabbos at the end of davening. Oh, in Mishmaneseh, okay.
Is that called a trade rabbanon? An example of trade rabbanon is if a cotton, let's say, could lay in the Megillah to be Moitze a Gadol. So we say the Gadol, Megillah is midrabbanon, and the cotton is a cotton, and Megillah is rabbanon. So there's a call that a trade rabbanon can't be Moitze a chad rabbanon. But over here, is this the same thing or not? You know, if the cotton davened Ma'ariv,
davening and the fact that it's a cotton,
and the fact is a cotton, is that considered a trade rabbanon, and the isha is only a chad rabbanon? So there's a tshuva, but also a tshuva from Rabbi Kiva that he said that's not considered a trade rabbanon. The fact that he is a rabbanon regardless if he davens Ma'ariv or he doesn't daven Ma'ariv. His whole chiyuv is only midrabbanon. So b'meila, when he daven Ma'ariv, that doesn't change his chiyuv, put him into a lower degree to Ma'ariv. So b'meila, he remains a rabbanon, and she's a rabbanon. So he could be mitzi one or the other.
And by Megillah?
Megillah is different. Megillah is the cotton itself is a rabbanon, and the Megillah itself is the rabbanon. It's two separate things.
Why by Megillah two separate things, and here by davening is not two separate things?
By Megillah is two separate things. A cotton's chiyuv is midrabbanon, and there's also a rabbanon chiyuv to read the Megillah. So but over here, the fact that he daven doesn't change his being a cotton. Mm-hmm. So he always remains the cotton if he did read them, if he did make kiddush or he didn't make kiddush. Mm-hmm. It doesn't change his chiyuv. Something like that.
Give or take a little bit.
The chiyuv of kiddush is nice.
There is a shayla. I mean, it's a big shayla. I mean, but I think I once saw that Minchas Yisrael talks about also. I don't remember right now. But a lot of people go, let's say that a boy's becoming bar mitzvah in Tammuz, okay? So they take the family to a hotel, and the whole family, spends Shabbos in the hotel. But in the hotel, they don't wait till the late to daven Ma'ariv. They daven Ma'ariv early. They want to have the Suda and everything, So in a lot of places, they take the boy and they give him the honor to make the Kiddush. But the shayla is that
it's before Ma'ariv.
It's before it says
he didn't change his date yet.
It's before it says
You could bring in Shabbos, but that didn't change his birthday.
That's right. It's before it says Chavim. So Mega, he's still under 13 is Taka Shabbos, but he's under 13.
Right.
State that you're not allowed to do that. That if the boys become bar mitzvah that day, so you have to wait.
can't be
You have to
Yotzei
wait
Bar
till Tzeitzek HaChavim.
No, because the
If
clock
full
is different.
13 and Mashal.
right.
Yeah.
It can't be here. It's two different things. This is a calendar. This is the day bringing in. He goes on the calendar.
I think, if I remember correctly, I once saw, I think the Minchas Yitzchak was Dayan Weiss. It made up a bar mitzvah pilpul for an Einik of his on this Indian. That's printed in one of the.
He was in England. And then
He was in
moved
England and then he went to
to
Etzisol. Yeah, he became the
Edo Achidus.
Eidah Chidus.
He made a lot of books. Made a lot of Shabbos Tshuvos.
He made 10 Svarim, 10 Chalakim. He also made a Sefer on Drush, a Chumash. I have that I have also. Yayin shenis chametz. If wine became sour, wine could turn into vinegar, become sour. Is ein mekachun olav, so you can't use it. It's no longer considered wine. V'chein yayin sheyesh bo reich ra, wine that got a bad smell to it. Af al pi shelo eines chametz, even though it's still wine, but it got some smell into it. El reichai v'tamai yayin, shemavochem olav b'ere pri agavan. Rak shemasriach kitzas, it smells, it doesn't have a good smell. Machmas shahaya b'kli mois, how could it get it absorbed, it was laying in a bottle, let's say, in a barrel, and it absorbed the smell. V'cheinin hu meiriach acher hachovyas is ein mekachim olav. You can't use such wine. V'chein yayin she'amad megula, ezel shois. If the wine was uncovered, apapido idna lekabdinan agilu. Gilu means liquids that were uncovered
Overnight.
are called gilu. The problem was because they're afraid that maybe a snake got into it and drank from it, and the snake gave some poison
Into the
into the liquid. So today, that's what the halacha today we're not choishish for gilu. Is a mekachin olav. We still don't use it for kiddush because it's no longer choshev a wine. Mishum hakriveyu no lepesacha. That means hayitzacha or hayisapanecha. If you had to bring to a choshev a person a gift of wine, would you bring such wine to him? Hayitzacha, that means would he be happy with it? Would he give you what you want? You know, if you tried to get something from him. V'yayin sheyesh ba kamachim. Kamachim means sediment. In other words, on the bottom of the barrel of wine, there's sediment on the barrel of wine. Today, the wines that you buy today, I don't think you'll see such a thing because everything goes through filters. But Molga Zeiten, when they made the wine in the barrels, you know, then the parts of the grape from the shell would sink to the bottom and it would come up into the wine. So yes, so you should
sift it.
Filter it. Ve'im yefsher l'sananai mekachim olav kach. This is the shayla about doing filter, but it could be that there's a difference between and Rabbi Bogomilsky. The people who had a shayla once they go on the tumult about the bugs in the water, so everyone was screaming that you should get filters. So the shayla was why you gotta have a filter on Shabbos, filtering the water, and the Rebbe said in Shulchan that if it's not a big thing, it's not full with bugs. I mean, maybe one bug, or maybe. So that's you're allowed. Avim yesh olav krum lovan. If the wine got something like a sheet of white, and it's beginning to discolor, ein mekachin olav, the mistama pog tamir, because most probably it lost its taste. Mekachin al yayin mavushal. You ought to use cooked wine. Now, I explained this before. There's wine that's cooked loses its chashivas. Moshe, what's the heta when you buy wine? It says it's mavushal. So what's if it doesn't say mavushal, it's not mavushal. So then it's called stam yayin. Or if it's a wine that was made by goyim, it's yayin nesach. What does that mean? That means that a goy would use this wine to pour for his avodah zorah. They also have such a thing as pouring wine on the avodah zorah. But if it's mavushal, then it's not considered chashuv wine anymore, and really they wouldn't use it. Like I said last time, that I think the more expensive wine is, the less it's going to be mavushal. Very expensive wines, they're not good. Those people that really have a sense of tasting wine could recognize if it's a cooked wine or not. By Pesach, we're mahada. Many are mahada, that they don't use mavushal wine. And that's why also Moshe Kedem is known that a certain size bottle, how do you know if it's mavushal or not? Certain size bottle are not mavushal, certain size bottle are mavushal. They're different. They make a different size bottles. But he says, yes, there's some that say she'ein mekachim aleim, that you don't use yayin that's mavushal. Kiva she'einim ruiyim v'mizbeach. We on the mizbeach where they had to make, there was a nesachim that they made on the mizbeach, they wouldn't use mavushal, because again it's not, and the goyim also the same thing. Akain im efsher yesh lahada acher yayin acher. But by all simchas, they take yayin that's mavushal, because usually the goyim come around and serve the people the wine. So even though they may be wearing white gloves when they're doing it, but that doesn't change the status from mavushal to mavushal. What?
In the base Chabad also, you don't know who's coming in.
That's true, yeah. There's an added chumrah, not only wine that a guy touched, but even wine that a guy saw. Now that's an added chumrah, not to make kiddush on it. For kiddush and avdallah, you don't use. That's why the wine by the Rebbe was always in a bag, that no one should see the wine itself.
In my house, when my father used to have people who came for the Seder,
Yeah.
so you have to fill 4 cups, everybody. So my father used to make an announcement at the beginning of the meal. Today is B'nai Chorin. Nobody should touch the wine. One of my children will serve everybody wine. Oh. That was the way to keep everybody not to touch the bottle.
Yeah.
Besides that all the wines were out of the bottles, they went into pitchers that were either colored or silver, so you couldn't see. But he always told no one, you don't have to do it. One of my children will fill for you, because he didn't want to have a shadow with it. So you touch the wine.
But some say that chumrah about seeing doesn't apply to mavushal.
Oh yeah, because once it's mavushal,
It's the ain't mavushal.
And does it apply to open bottles or closed bottles as well?
I think it
Sealed
only
bottles.
applies to open wine.
Because you go walk into Ebbers.
Yeah, but double sealed. The double sealed is not a problem.
Even for-
But that's sealed. It's sealed by sealed wine. It doesn't apply.
Double seal. Hi, Mordechai.
And also a lot of bottles are colored bottles.
Yeah. Half.
Yeah, well, they're not, you don't see the actual color of the wine.
That was
It's a light
Ramon.
blue. It was
Green.
yeah,
Dark
it's
green.
green.
With a double seal, right?
Hakais that's the becha on which you're going to make the kiddush. Tzorach liyos shalom v'noki. The Gemara says that there's 10 things that step in the gate of the kais that has to be clean from inside, from outside, and it should be gans, no pagam in it. And v'kol adinim shehem b'kais birchas hamazon, all the dinim that apply by the kais for benching, yesh gam b'kais shel kiddush, ben b'yayin, ben b'layla, v'chein b'kais shel avdala. V'toiv l'kadesh b'layla al kais gadol, sheyishayim mimenu l'kiddush hayayim u'lavdala. This is a Gemara. There's a Gemara in Psachim that the Gemara says, Ezel ben Oilam haba, someone that's Mashayah from Kiddush to Avdala.
Do we do that?
Huh?
Do we do that?
We don't, but Al Rebbe brings it in Shulchan Aruch also. And the Shonim would say that the Gemara Pashut means in Pashtus, like he says over here, that there's wine left over, but in Drush Svarim they teach the Mashayim and Kiddush Avdala, that Kiddush is a time of when you're elevated. So even B'Shas Avdala, when you go after Shabbos, you carry with you the spirit of Shabbos. So that's Mashayim, Kiddush, and Avdala.
The Shaya is from the cup itself, but this means in bottle, you should have enough for.
Well, I don't know. The Rebbe brings
It
this
says a
off.
case gadol. It says case gadol that the kiddush itself should be left over for tomorrow.
When you have a family, it's like a And then what do you do? And then what did you do? And then what do? You put that in, put back into the bottle, or you have it separate? You have to hold it down together. You know anyone?
I started
Okay, you see, the Rebbe brings over here in Reish Ayin Aleph. Shloisha menoicha Olam haba. There are 3 that get Olam haba. Ve'echad mehem hamashaya yayin mikiddush l'avdala. Dahainu sheyesh rei ma'at yayin u'meineya shel yosei b'shvil havdala.
He holds back.
In other words, that he could finish the whole and not have on what to make Avdala. So someone that doesn't finish, and the only says, "V'yesh Shaimin, the Hainu Shemekadesh v'Layla al Kais Gadol, sheyishta sheyishtaya ba'oisei Kais l'Kiddush shel Yoim u'lahavdu l'Avdala b'Yisakin oisei m'Yimosai." Because once you drank at night, so it became pogum. So he said you have to make it ois pogum. So that's you add something to it, and that makes it ois pogum. K'mashkosel ma'ila u'b'tay chasuda sheisa yayin acha b'tay b'una came. That's this depends on the 2 pshatim that the Rebbe says. What does it mean? Mishav Kiddush Avdala. Does it mean someone that doesn't have wine, so he leaves over, or someone that has, but he leaves from the this wine. So
So you need a case gadol, very gadol, because he has to drink rovkos, according to the Alter
No, but then he
Rebbe.
has
Not only Erevis, he has to drink rovkos, and the leftover should be enough for Havdalah.
No, not enough for. Because he says anyway, you have to make it ois pogum. So you're going to mix with other wine anyway, then you have more wine.
first of all, if a revius is about 4 ounces, or even a little less, so a revius is only 2 ounces. It's not much. I mean, the bechas that we have.
You have to do
Revius is
rovkos.
not enough. We need the rovkos. So if the leftover should be good for
That's
Kiddush,
by Pesach. Also there's a shal is a drive kaisa drive revius. It's 2 days about that. But the last kaisa, the 4th kaisa, we drink the whole kaisa or whole revius because of the bracha achrayna.
Don't we have to finish the whole cup by the 4 cases?
If there's 2 days in Al Rebbe Shulchan Aruch.
Depending on how big the cup
You
is.
have to drink at least a revius. So usually that would be about 4 ounces. Some say
86 gram.
the whole kais, or the ripe of the kais, the Alter Rebbe talks about Nechus Pesach. Okay.